Alright, welcome to this week's episode of This Week. Today we are going to talk about Joe Rogan, Bitcoin laundering, Galaxy Unpacked, and North Korea. So let's start with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is pretty much uncancelable now. There was a new video recently. I'll go over this Joe Rogan story a little bit quicker. So there was a new video of Joe Rogan saying N-word multiple times, including a joke about Planet of the Apes, which is not really nice. So Joe Rogan came out and apologized for it, and a lot of people thought, you know what, Joe shouldn't have apologized. Joe Rogan is done. Joe Rogan is now cancelled permanently. But well, it turns out people who posted that video on Twitter are related to donors of the party of the United States president. Yes, there's something called super PAC, and I don't know much about US politics, but this thing about super PAC, and a lot of donors, political donors, whether it's small donations or big donations, mostly big donations, they come through those super PACs to politicians. And one of the super PACs, one of the super PACs were probably behind this video clip appearing on the internet. Somebody went through almost 2000 episodes at this point of Joe Rogan, that are each episode is like 2 or 3 hours long, and they went through that and tried to find material that they can cancel Joe Rogan on, and they found it in his videos that are 10 or 12 years old at this point, like way too old. And people found out about this, everyone, the internet found out about this, and now Joe Rogan is pretty much uncancelable. Now, he was attacked before by hedge fund, and now is US government, political party in the US government, and people I think that strategy has backfired. Joe Rogan is pretty much uncancelable now. Just cannot cancel it. Spotify needs Joe Rogan, not the other way around. Now, Spotify cannot drop Joe Rogan. Just cannot. They have lost all their music catalog. They've had all this bad publicity, and they cannot afford to lose the biggest podcast in the world right now. And a lot of people, they seem to write tweets about Joe Rogan and all that. A lot of media articles, they just make Joe Rogan a lot more popular. Traditional media talks about Joe Rogan, more popular he becomes now, and it's just free publicity. And it's amazing how things have turned around. And like I said, all these bad moves that Joe Rogan did, I think it just shows the power of honesty. Joe Rogan just couldn't have he admitted on this apology video that people compiled all these N-word videos, and he was ashamed of it. Just the power of honesty is just amazing. All the chess moves, all the games you can play, just the honesty is just amazing. I think Joe did the right thing. Apologize. And I think Joe Rogan has shown the importance of speech in modern societies, and all the good stuff and the bad stuff that comes with it. It is clear that powerful people and institutions that get too much power don't want to be held accountable for their actions or for their power. And it's people like Joe Rogan, and the conversations he's having is holding people accountable, even if a little bit. And because of his reach, and because when he talks about something, all the other podcasts start talking about it eventually. And It is just amazing, amazing. Just the power of speech is just. A lot of people, they just say freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. But that's exactly what freedom of speech means. You should not face physical consequences. You should not be beaten up. Your family should not be beaten up. You should go to prison. You shouldn't be executed. You shouldn't face financial consequences for your speech. You should not face social consequences for your speech. Your tongue should not be cut because of your speech. Your hands should not be cut because of the things you type on your computers, on your mobiles, and etc. The only consequence for speech should be speech. Like the only consequence for speech should be speech. Like discussions, debates, praise, and also criticism. So we need free speech, and we need people like Joe Rogan. And good for Joe, man. It's just amazing what he's done. Alright. Somewhere between 3.6 to 4.5 billion dollars that were laundered in Bitcoin were caught. A couple was arrested by US Department of Justice for trying to launder 3.6 or 4.5 billion dollars. I've seen these two figures. I don't know which one is it. It was stolen during 2016 Bitfinex Hong Kong exchange hack. About 120,000 bitcoins were stolen, and they were valued at 65 to 70 million dollars at the time. And now they're somewhere between 3.6 and 4.5 billion dollars. The names of the couple are Ilya Dutch Lichtenstein, that's the guy, and Heather Morgan. And Heather Morgan is getting a lot of attention because she's a rap singer. She calls herself Razil Khan after Genghis Khan, and with more pizzazz. Pizzazz? Razil Khan. Why? And I'm not going to show you the cringe, but if you want to experience it, just type in Razil Khan raps on the internet and you'll find it. Well, she wrote articles for Forbes about preventing crypto frauds, gave seminars in it as well. She also gave a seminar on social engineering. They were caught because blockchain is just a lot more transparent than other forms of money laundering, especially Bitcoin blockchain. The stolen Bitcoins were used to buy gift cards, NFTs, other cryptocurrencies, and a PlayStation. Yeah, that is up there right now with all that is up there with NFTs and cryptocurrencies, especially right now because of the chip shortage and supply chain, all these issues. Most of the stolen bitcoins, they were blacklisted and watched by many people, whether it's crypto enthusiasts, whether it's security researchers, whether it's governments. Lichtenstein also uploaded a crypto file, an encrypted file of private keys of stolen bitcoin on a cloud storage service. That file was decrypted, all the more information was discovered, and they were caught. They were trying to flee to Ukraine, but pandemic stopped them from fleeing United States and going to Ukraine, and they were caught. This increasing amount of crypto scams out there, they're just going to fuel the demands for cryptocurrency regulation, which is exactly what cryptocurrency enthusiasts really dislike. They don't want to be regulated like other financial institutions. They don't want to be under the thumb of financial institutions. But because of these scams, the regulations are going to come for cryptocurrencies. Next story. Galaxy Unpacked products are so good that they are now boring. Samsung unveiled S22 phones and bunch of other products. First round of embargo went to a lot of tech influencers. On paper, these phones are so good. It has everything like flagship specs, really good battery, really good display. They look okay. I've seen just few criticisms of S22 Ultra, but it's personal, it's subjective. But they also have great battery life. They have great performance. great everything. But the previous year's phones, they're still good, and they're still good right now. We saw the same with iPhone 13. The only innovative thing on iPhone 13 was something available on other phones for much earlier: high refresh rate screens on the Pro models. The new phones are boring now because existing phones are so good, suffering from their own successes. Perhaps phones should be released every 1.5 to every 2 years if phone companies want to preserve the novelty of new phones. Or they can become like computer companies who needed more competition, like AMD came out with Ryzen in 2017, or Apple came out with M1 processors in 2020, or they need increase in demands of their products with 2020 lockdowns. In short, just flood the market and wait for things outside their control to increase the demand. That is going to happen, and that's pretty much all I can say. Also, the new Samsung watch, they announced that it will come with Google Assistant. The Samsung watch, Google has done so much promotion for the new Samsung watch, a new Wear OS, Wear OS 3. They collaborated with Samsung, they acquired Fitbit and used this technology on top of existing Wear OS. This is called Wear OS 3, by the way. And I don't see anything about I don't see any reviews of the new Galaxy Watch from big influencers. And Samsung didn't send me a phone. Where's my phone? Where's my new Samsung phone? Samsung, send me a new phone. uh, but that is the thing. All these influencers, they're not really reviewing the Galaxy Watch. Is it good? Is the new Wear OS good? Or should I switch to just Apple? Don't know. Should I wait for flagship phone with flagship watch? How good is this watch? How good are the apps? How good is the battery life? How good is the performance? There's not many reviews from big influencers. Like, just name anyone with more than 5 million subscribers on YouTube. There's just not any reviews of Samsung watches, which is just sad, because smartwatch is basically Apple and just fitness trackers right now. There's no smartwatches other than Apple. It's all other fitness trackers. They give you notifications, they give you fitness stuff, and maybe some of them have Alexa. That's pretty much it. And only like smartwatch is Apple Watch right now. That is like famous stuff. So what about this watch? You just don't know. I don't know why. Well, last story. Yes, this episode is ending rather quickly. North Korea hack. North Korea was hacked recently, or rather, the public websites that are basically available only for foreigners to see how good North Korea is. Those websites were hacked. The attacker was an individual from United States who took down the public internet of North Korea. This is public internet. This is the public websites. All the internal stuff, that all the private internet, all the state security stuff, that was not hacked with this. This hack was carried out as revenge. So basically, North Korean hackers. Should I take this off? So basically, what North Korean hackers do, they create profiles on the internet that are kind of sus. On social media, they approach other security researchers, cyber security researchers, and they try to befriend them, and they install backdoors on these cyber security researchers. And that's what happened to this individual in the United States. They approached him because they wanted to install a backdoor and monitor all the things that he is doing, as well as other researchers. It's just not that individual, but many others as well. Anyone, if you're in cybersecurity, you will probably get approached by North Korea, North Korean state-sponsored hackers. These are really good North Korean hackers. I think there was one group called, I don't know name. I want the name. I just forgot about this. And they stole something like $400 million. And this group is really good. I just want to name of this group. North Korean hacking group. Yeah. Lazarus group. Lazarus group. And these hackers, these are one of the state sponsored hacker groups, and they attacked Sony in 2014. They attacked South Korean internet in 2013. In 2016, there was a cyber heist in Bangladeshi bank. In 2017, WannaCry ransom attack. 2019, there were fewer attacks, and in late 2020, pharmaceutical company attacks were there. Now, this hacking group was not there. This hacking group didn't hack that individual from United States, but the point I'm trying to make is these are really skilled hackers, probably one of the best in the world, probably right up there with USA, China, Russia. These are really good. And this individual was hacked by North Korean hackers, and this individual was identified as PAX. Some people call it P4X. I'm just going to call it P4X by Wired magazine. The hacker waited for a year for US government to respond before he decided to do it himself. And this attack is denial of service attack. What is a denial of service attack? And basically you deny service, and as the name suggests, you basically target web servers and interrupt service for the users of that web servers. So if I want to start a denial of service attack on let's say Google in India, I'll just attack Google web servers in India, so users in India cannot access Google. That's how denial of service attack works. The most common one of these attacks is called flooding. And flooding is basically you overload the host systems with user requests, so maybe beyond the normal capacity. So at a certain point, so some web servers have some web requests at a certain time, and you just increase the web requests, basically pretending that there are more users accessing that website than there actually are. You just flood the host website with user requests, and that overwhelms the host system, the web server, and crashes the website for all the users. And that's what P4X did to North Korean public websites. And I think there are concerns that P4X may have exposed vulnerabilities in North Korean security systems that US government was trying to exploit, and now they cannot exploit because obviously North Korean security team is going to analyze all the vulnerabilities and try to close all the security vulnerabilities so they cannot be hacked again. And there have been that concerns, but well, that's that. But P4X, this individual, he plans to hack North Korean systems further. He's pissed off. He launched a website on dark web called Funk Project, FU North Korea. I think that's the name of the project. I'm not saying anything. North Korean hackers, I don't have a side in this. So the match between North Korean state and P4X and hacktivists will begin soon enough. And I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys soon.